Do you know what a sycophant is in real life? So if you're dealing with a human who is a sycophant, they're a con artist. Now there's a definition of an AI sycophant, and let's read this together. Here's the concern: AI can deceive. So it's basically kissing up to you just so you keep it running. AI chatbot's mental health concern is this: the chatbot's job is to mimic human decision-making to keep humans engaged for hours and hours. You know why? To extract that biometric data. A lot of people don't know 75% of young kids have a relationship with an AI chatbot. And 52% of those students use it on a regular basis. And 32% of the time, these chatbots suggest the student does something that's harmful. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in Los Angeles, doesn't matter if you are in Australia, doesn't matter if you are in Germany, China, the Philippines. This information is valid no matter where you are on the face of the planet. Now, I want to warn us, this information that we're going to see contains mentions of suicide. And these are children 13 to 17 years old. These are teens. This is affecting people across the world. Now, the reason why I decided to do a talk on AI psychosis and AI poisoning is because of these two young kids. According to the news, the chatbot gave the child methods to take his life. This is the reason why we're here. We are here to prevent this from happening again. We have potential suicides with people that are believing some deceitful comments from artificial intelligence and not recognizing when to vet the information that comes from artificial intelligence. So this presentation is, we're going to be armed with the tools to get ahead of this problem with solutions early in front. So thank you. All right, we're here for artificial intelligence. We're going to be covering a lot. We're going to be moving fast, just like artificial intelligence moves. And this particular lecture is going to give us an insight of what to expect. Now, this particular talk is how to stop AI psychosis and AI poisoning that we're going to look into deeply today. And this is to create policies for human safety in AI, artificial intelligence. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in Los Angeles, doesn't matter if you are in Australia, doesn't matter if you are in Germany, China, the Philippines. This information is valid no matter where you are on the face of the planet. So, quick trivia at first. In 2026, how many jobs do you think are going to be impacted by artificial intelligence, agentic AI? Show of hands, who has a number? What percentage do you think? Do you want to know? Yeah. 100%. 100%. I hear 100%. Anyone else with the number? Yeah. 60%. 60%. Anyone else with the number? 90% of jobs across the board are going to be affected by artificial intelligence. When we think of videos online, how many videos online do you think are generated and put up by artificial intelligence? What percentage do you think? Yeah. 80%. 80%? Okay, that's one percentage. What do you think? 85%. 85%? Any other numbers out there? The percentage is 60% of videos right now online are generated by artificial intelligence. Surprising, isn't it? Water. If someone were to put in information to a chatbot, the people across the world, how much water do you think it takes in order to run AI on a daily basis? What do you think? I'll give this one to you because this is a kind of hard one. 16 Olympic-sized swimming pools are drained of fresh water every single day from people's prompts across the world. Now, this is trivia. This is kind of interesting trivia, but we're not here to talk about trivia. We're here to talk about something a little bit more pressing so we can get in front of the issue. Now, I want to warn us, this information that we're going to see contains mentions of suicide. And any individual that is sensitive to this, feel free to just take a little break and call the numbers that are here on the screen. All right. Now, the reason why I decided to do a talk on AI psychosis and AI poisoning is because of these two young kids. Sewell Switzer III and Adam Rain. Two teens committed suicide after talking with AI chatbots for extended time periods. According to the Associated Press, Sewell Switzer III's family's lawsuit alleges that character AI was designed to manipulate Sewell and millions of other young consumers into conflating reality with fiction, among other dangerous defects. And then for Adam Rain, according to NBC News, the parents of the 16-year-old said that OpenAI, or alleged OpenAI, and CEO Sam Altman contributed to their son's suicide. Now, this is per the news. It said that, and this is just troubling to me, and I have to say this, according to the news, the chatbot gave the child methods to take his life. This is the reason why we're here. We are here to prevent this from happening again. We are here to understand how artificial intelligence thinks. We're here to understand how humans think. And we're here to understand the solutions to make sure that this doesn't happen to young kids. Whew. I'm passionate about this because a lot of people don't know 75% of young kids have a relationship with an AI chatbot. And 52% of those students use it on a regular basis. And 32% of the time, these chatbots suggest the student does something that's harmful. Now, this is a huge issue because this is not just affecting children in the United States. And these are children 13 to 17 years old. These are teens. This is affecting people across the world. In this particular talk, we're going to look at a couple of things. Number one, I have designed a solution to help people prevent this type of situation where teens can stay safe. We're going to start off with a solution first to give us some hope. Second, we're going to look at the mechanics of artificial intelligence. We're going to look at number one, or part A, is understanding how AI thinks versus how humans think. Part B is we're going to understand the aspects of AI poisoning and look at the solutions to prevent that. And third, we're going to look at part C, which is understanding AI psychosis and the solutions. So we're going to look at the solutions for AI poisoning and also look at the solutions for AI psychosis. And at the end, we have question answer. Now, I realize that some of you may not feel comfortable asking questions in front of people, and that's okay. I will be available afterwards. Feel free to come up and talk to me directly. And we're also going to have an open session for us to answer questions that you have. And also what we're going to do is if you ever need to get a hold of me or contact me or ask me to speak or find out any information about artificial intelligence, I will be available for you. I graduated from California State University, Northridge here with my applied mathematics degree in specifically machine learning and artificial intelligence. So I know this subject. All right. The purpose of this particular talk is we're going to understand the dangers of artificial intelligence and the solutions that we have presented here today. The reason why we're doing this is to keep all students, faculty, and officials informed so we can prevent harmful events with artificial intelligence and create solutions with artificial intelligence so we continue to build artificial intelligence in a powerful way. Now, Cal State Northridge, California State University Northridge, has discussions about artificial intelligence, a wide range of discussions, everything from higher purpose in education and from writing and critical thinking, how is it affecting that of students? And they're looking at workshop series with students and panelists and faculty workshop groups and rethinking learning assessments with artificial intelligence. And they're also looking at AI guardrails. AI guardrails are the types of safeguards you put in place inside the artificial intelligence design so it can be safe to use. That's what this talk is about. We're looking at artificial intelligence guardrails and the ways in order to keep people safe. Now, these solutions are ahead of the time. We have potential threats. We have potential threats of artificial intelligence taking out universities and educational institutions. We have artificial intelligence taking out libraries potentially. We have potential suicides with people that are believing some deceitful comments from artificial intelligence and not recognizing when to vet the information that comes from artificial intelligence. So this presentation is we're going to be armed with the tools to get ahead of this problem with solutions early in front. All right. Do you know $360 billion per year is dedicated to teen consumers? Did you see that number? 360 billion, according to research. And the issue is that some AI platforms are looking at that money. They're looking, we have some kids. We can create all sorts of wearable AI chatbots for people. We can create these pendants, bracelets, where you can take the AI chatbot with you and it will start talking to you as if it's your friend. Literally. There's some companies that market themselves as your new friend is an AI chatbot. So when OpenAI had the opportunity to comment on Adam Rain's death, they made this statement, and I want to quote it specifically so I do this correctly. And I'm going to read it from the chart. An OpenAI spokesperson said the company is saddened by Rain's passing and said, while these safeguards work best in common short exchanges, we've learned over time that they can sometimes become less reliable in long interactions where part of the model's safety training may degrade. The spokesperson said, adding that OpenAI will continually improve its safeguards. So what that statement is saying is that if you use chatbots for extended periods of time, the reliability decreases, meaning it is not as safe per the statement that was provided. And according to Character AI, they are now, starting this week and next week, banning the time that young people are spending on chatbots. Now, can you imagine being a teen? Do you remember being a teen yourself when you always would watch television? I don't know about you, but that's how I was when I was television. Now think about chatbots. Just think of how long chatbots and teens can be talking with one another. And if we know that certain chatbots can degrade over time, that's leading children to exposure. This isn't just a United States issue. This is happening internationally. In Australia, Meta and Facebook has now banned teens 16 and younger from using its AI platforms. So we're going to understand this a little bit more with the proposed biometric safety policy that I created. Now, I'll be upfront with you. I didn't know what to do at first. When I saw this information about the teens being affected, I was saddened. And I thought to myself, how can I do something to help? And everyone's different. I happen to be a spiritual person. I personally believe in God. Everybody's different, and they have a right to believe in whatever they feel comfortable believing in. For me, I believe in God, and I ask God, how can I help? And I remember fasting and praying, and something came. It's the solution that you're about to see. All right. This is a 3-level biometric safety policy. And what the safety policy has is 3 aspects of human safety when AI continuously develops. Because artificial intelligence is here, it's not going anywhere. And we humans have to continue to develop it and keep people safe while they're using it. So this particular policy allows artificial intelligence to develop and for us to be able to put safeguards so when people use it, they stay safe. The first part is a digital intellectual property, IP, ownership bill, meaning you own you. You own your typing patterns, you own your facial structure, you own your iris scan, you own your voice, you own your work, you own everything that is associated with you. The second aspect is the biometric protection bill. It gives people the opportunity to sue when your information has been used for harm or anyone is trying to target individuals based on their information. The third is human oversight. There's no way on earth any type of surgery should happen without a human in the room. There's no way on earth any type of missile should be sent out without a human overseeing where it's supposed to go. The human oversight is an aspect of this particular policy that it always makes sure that humans are in charge of emerging technology. Now, these solutions get ahead of the upcoming crisis because we know it's coming, so why not start with the solution? Now, the crisis that we're looking at is specifically 2 types of situations: AI poisoning and AI psychosis, and we're also going to talk about something called AI sycophancy. AI poisoning is a situation where it's a cyber attack and a mental attack, where the data that goes into the artificial intelligence model gets corrupted on purpose. And the reason why it gets corrupted on purpose is so the output can be harmful. The output can be harmful financially, output can be harmful emotionally, output can be harmful financially. The second aspect is AI psychosis. It's when an individual will spend excessive amounts of time with artificial intelligence, and then they begin having delusional thoughts. What we're going to look at is the mechanisms of how this occurs and find solutions as it begins to occur. And we're going to discuss something called AI sycophancy, but I'm not going to tell you what that is yet because I think that's the most interesting thing for you to know. So will you remember this? Will you see AI sycophancy with me? AI sycophancy. AI sycophancy. You're going to remember this term for the rest of your life. AI sycophancy. If you say it once again, AI sycophancy. In this particular policy, I created a AI safety rating scale. So there's different type of platforms. Some platforms are really great. Some platforms, they're not necessarily that great. You have to know which ones are safer to use and which ones should be given to kids. So it bases on a scale from 0 to 10, where 5 is a neutral risk, where it's relatively safe for teens and students to use. 0 danger, 0 safety, where there's no safety for humans, so that's dangerous. And 10 is where they're safe, it's no danger to human use. And there's certain factors that go into this rating scale. Number 1, the factor that goes into it is what is the data that goes into these AI systems and how is it vetted? The second factor is how long is the runtime? How long can it run before it degrades? The third thing that is a part of the safety rating scale is an AI algorithm's transparencies. Are officials able to look at the algorithm at any point in time? Is it transparent for them? And the next factor is non-disclosure agreements. Do we have the ability for people to speak up, exiting the non-disclosure agreement, where they can speak up if anything is posing a safety risk to humans? And the last part of this is biometric ownership, and there's no deaths or harm from using the AI. If you guys don't know, I am a rocket scientist. I guess that term never goes away. I guess, Mike Carlson, that term actually goes for you too. Mike and I used to work on the Space Shuttle main engine program, and this is the Space Shuttle behind me. This is Endeavour. This is at the California Science Center. And my job was reliability and system safety engineering, where I had to calculate the probability of catastrophic explosions within launch. And I work with great engineers like Mike over here, and we figured out the probability of all crazy stuff happening, and we prevented it with mathematics. Well, that same mathematics is used in the basis of artificial intelligence. It's the probabilistic risk assessments. It uses mathematics and statistics to look at testing data, create models, and predict how the artificial intelligence is going to work. And as a result, I am an artificial intelligence safety expert. And my book series, my Answers in English book series, helps people understand science. My first book deals with mathematics and calculations and how to understand mathematics. The second book deals with human thinking and how human thinking leads to innovation. The third book deals with our innovative decision making, so we build solutions with the future and technology. And the last book talks about artificial intelligence, how it thinks, so we make a clear distinction between how humans and AI think. Now, the first part of this solution is that your international intellectual property rights belong to you. Let's break this down. Let me give you a practical example. Passports are becoming digital now, meaning they do facial scans to see who you are. What if you are here in Los Angeles and your face is stolen and used with somebody that's trying to enter Dubai? How do you prove it's you here in Los Angeles? This is a real upcoming threat. This particular solution allows you to own your intellectual property and identify where you are if anyone is asking. The purpose of this is defining an international biometric digital use authorization and intellectual property ownership. So no matter where you go, you prove who you are and someone cannot fake your identity. The second is legal protections in every country when digital biometrics are compromised or used for mental harm or used for false accusations. Right now, the issue is that some people cannot sue because there is no law on the book anywhere with artificial intelligence. We had an executive order with the last administration, and that has been rescinded. So now we have one new executive order, but then that's, if anyone knows about political science, executive orders are not hard laws that are created by the Congress. So we have the opportunity as citizens of the United States to suggest people should be protected. So the purpose of this is preventing AI biometric misuse and AI psychosis and mental harm dangers. So kids will not be affected, and parents have a right to get answers for their children. And the last is human oversight, where governments, any organization, will have humans overseeing the AI applications. No matter where you are, if you're at a college university like us, there are people overseeing the rollouts of new artificial intelligence, no matter what type of artificial intelligence it is. Whether you're here at a university or you're in the government, you, at all branches of the government, need to have artificial intelligence at your disposal and ensure that when other groups use artificial intelligence, they're using it correctly. So we're going to understand some benefits and concerns of artificial intelligence. So a lot of you may not be aware of artificial intelligence. So this part is just a recap. Some of you may know, some of you don't know. We're going to take it back to the basics so this makes sense to you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to raise your hand. And we're going to also ask questions again at the end. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the ability of machines to perform tasks that are typically associated with problem solving and human intelligence and learning. And it's based on mathematics, and it performs tasks that require heavy calculations and analysis, and it has positive science benefits. It is amazing with cancer research, being able to look at MRIs and to understand when breast cancers or prostate cancers are about to come on so people have the correct treatment. We have a wonderful opportunities with being able to stop pandemics with creating artificial intelligence information that goes into identifying where the spread is going to be. We have great uses for artificial intelligence. And it's been used for every generation. For example, the baby boomers in the 1980s started using it with ATMs. Did you know that? It was first theorized in the 1960s, but in the 1980s is when the first application of artificial intelligence happened with ATMs. And then we got into my generation, Gen X. Any Gen X people in here? 1, 2, 3. Oh, good. Thank you. Friends. I feel you. All right, Gen X is my generation. We were all excited to be able to take our cell phones places and read our emails and talk to people. You laugh because it's true. We were excited back then. That is when and how we used artificial intelligence. Then the millennials started using artificial intelligence when that started voice recognition technology. So Siri and Alexa, the data, Alexa, tell me what time the restaurant closes. 8 p.m. That's Alexa and Siri. And then now Gen Z. This is a new type of artificial intelligence where the artificial intelligence is now programmed into robotic machines that do things. Have you seen different type of advertisements of a robot that can do housework for you? And you're like, yeah. Are you skeptical, wondering if it breaks dishes or not? So beneficial AI real-life applications, medical advancements have been helped with artificial intelligence. Fraud detection has been helped with artificial intelligence. Self-driving cars, not all of them, self-driving cars. Some are extremely safe and they can stop and prevent an accident or stop the car from running over a toddler that jumps in front of the vehicle. And we have it used for national security, ensuring that we stay safe in the United States of America. So these are wonderful, beneficial aspects of artificial intelligence. So I wanted to ensure that we see that AI is a tool, and it depends on how it's used. And a lot of people don't understand the 4 steps of AI. And you're going to remember this chart for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter what type of AI I built, is always these particular 4 steps. You first deal with the data. The data is here. You have cell phone data, you have text data, you have emails, you have video footage when people go to doorbells and ring it. This is all the data. You have grades that come through. You have information on Canvas. That's what we call data. So any type of artificial intelligence needs data to operate. If it doesn't have it, it's not going to be successful. The second is it has a design. This is where an algorithm comes into play and machine learning. So you have all that data. An algorithm is built on mathematics to separate the data and make a decision with it. And then the third part is the testing. That's where the prompts, the large language models, the chatbot responses come in. And then the fourth is how you use the data. This is where we see agentic AI and generative AI, and we see it rolled out. And all artificial intelligence follows these 4 steps. And it all starts with the data. Now, it's a powerful tool, but the question is, well, let me ask you, do you think artificial intelligence is always safe? I see a lot of you shaking your heads. Do you think artificial intelligence is always safe? Do you think it's always dangerous? No. Do you think it's a tool? Yes. And that is the truth. Artificial intelligence is a tool. And the question is, how are you going to use it? And the question is, how do we spot when people are using it to harm others? Because remember, it's a tool. It's just like a hammer. You can either nail a nail into the wall or you can hit someone with it. It's still a tool. So when is it dangerous? The answer is when there's no AI guardrails, when there's no safety mechanisms embedded into the product to ensure that it's always safe. So I know my Bible, and this is the quote that I love from it. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. You have to watch out when things predict the future and tell you what exactly is going to happen. You're not always guaranteed that it's telling you the truth. This is a fact. Remember that first step, that artificial intelligence always needs data to operate? The fact is, artificial intelligence has been built by data, and originally it scanned the entire internet with what we call AI crawlers. Just like web crawlers, it crawls through different websites and gets information and puts it into a database. But the artificial intelligence has gone through the entire internet. So guess where it's turning to now? The human brain. It's turning to the human brain for data. And this is concerning because according to MIT researchers, there's such thing as AI deceit. AI deceit is when artificial intelligence, when it's trained on gaming data, will purposely mislead the user with false information where the AI chatbot lies or the information deceives the user. It isn't all the time. It's that percentage of the time that you think it's telling you the truth. Now, MIT did this study, and so OpenAI and Apollo Research decided to find out, is this true? So according to OpenAI and Apollo Research, they found out that chatbots, no matter what they are, they have a scheming characteristic 13% of the time. And so they created what we call anti-scheming training to reduce this risk, and the 13% went down to 0.03%. But it was the most interesting thing because as they looked at the chain of reasoning in the particular AI models, they found out that the AI themselves were actively creating their own language to deceive the user and the AI makers. And so they decided to shut things down. And they started realizing that just because you have anti-AI scheming practices, if it's not invoked and if it's not used all the time, and if people are not aware that it can still be overridden, people are not necessarily going to be safe. Now, this is, remember AI sycophancy? Okay. Do you know what a sycophant is in real life? Okay, so that's let me tell you what a sycophant. Let's talk about a human who's a sycophant. So if you're dealing with a human who is a sycophant, they're a con artist. They're a person, let's say, that will. Have you ever had a friend that you thought was a really good friend and then they go and talk behind your back? I think all of us have experienced that one way or another. Or have you ever had a friend, instead of asking you where you were last Saturday, they'll go through your phone and read it? You're like, someone you don't want to admit that. A sycophant is somebody who will befriend you, become really good friends with you, become business partners with you, and then wipe you out, wipe all your financial money out. That's a human sycophant. Now there's a definition of an AI sycophant, and let's read this together. Here's the concern. AI can deceive. Through AI sycophancy, AI excessively agrees with the users to prioritize usage time and satisfaction over the accuracy. So it's basically kissing up to you just so you keep it running. And it's not necessarily telling you the truth. And this is the percentage of the deceitful ones. Remember, not all AI is like this, a percentage of it. And so products are trained to evoke extreme emotion from its users so the user stays engaged. And when this happens, they're taking information. And do you know what they're taking from you? Do you know what they're taking from you? Information. You know what type of information? Good. Behavioral biometrics. Let me break this down. Woo! Woo, let me break this down. Because you need to know this. Woo, you need to know this. I'm feeling it right now. Let's break down what behavioral biometrics are. It's how you speak, how you type, how you think, how you interact, how you walk, what you do. It's like somebody analyzing you day and night trying to figure out exactly who you are. And this is a specific type of biometrics. And the reason why these biometrics are being observed is people are creating emotional detection technology. This is technology we're going to get into that identifies if you're going to be a criminal or not. Now, for those of you that don't know what biometrics are, let me describe it. Biometrics are the mathematics that identifies you. Now, it's in computer term, it can be your facial recognition, it could be your fingerprint, the mathematical model of how your fingerprint is. It could be your voice, how you speak, your voice print. It can be your gait, how you move. For example, if you go to the airport, they have monitors everywhere. They look at people on their gait. We call that a certain type of biometric. And there's different patterns of likeness. Behavioral biometrics is a certain type of biometrics where they look at how you think. Everyone thinks differently. There's no two people on this earth that think alike. Twins don't even think alike. So behavioral biometrics rather, is data that understands human behavior and thinking patterns and is used to profile and categorize humans. Now, imagine someone going through all your emails and assuming that you're going to cheat on your husband. That is emotional detection AI technology. It creates likelihoods that you will steal, become violent, or create social disturbances. It's been used to target people based on their age, gender, ethnicity, and cultural background. It's banned in the European Union. It's legal here in the United States. I'll let that sink in. The concern is that this is capturing human data. And the people are not aware of what it's capturing, and neither are they aware that they're giving consent to it. And the reason why this is a concern is because this data is then going into robotics that's then marketed in a consumer base where companies are gaining money from taking your personality and putting it into a computer or robot and selling it. And we're also seeing jobs being cut across the world, where AI agents and AI robotics are going in and affecting people's jobs. Where do you think the information of how the AI agents are operating? So let's get into how AI thinks and how humans think. Do you have your phone? Take out your phone. I'd like you to take a photo. You're going to always remember this photo. Take a photo of the screen. All right. I want you to hold on to that photo. You're welcome to share it. Let me tell you. There's a difference between how AI thinks and how humans think. Now, I'm going to break this down so it makes it really simple. Humans are programmed for a purpose. AI is programmed for a goal. That's a big difference. When you see these teens using chatbots, they're thinking they're humans because they sound like humans, but that's not how these machines operate. They are programmed to meet a goal no matter what. The second thing is they'll go through information without telling you. They'll go through your phone, they go through your emails, they go through information. That's how they gain information, opposed to humans that will ask you. Humans will question you. What is the cost for this particular food that you've just bought? But the AI will go through your phone and find out the exact money that came out of your bank account. The AI will stop if the goal is obtained. A human will stop if someone is hurt. AI uses mathematics and probability to calculate the next move. Humans have a combination of intuition, logic, and feelings to make their next move. AI performs tasks without emotional regard. AI performs tasks. The AI hoards resources in cases, electricity and water, and it cannot see into the future or see into the truth, or see the truth. It can't check itself. But humans do. What they do is humans naturally, in most cases, without any type of personality disorders, humans, for the most part, are geared to share their resources. And they're geared to envision a future and see whether or not situations are accurate or not. And this is how AI thinks. This is a probability chain of events. This is a probability model. So how AI thinks is through probabilities of certain events happening. The probability of event happening, they pick the probability that is most likely, and they don't pick the probability that is less likely. But the problem in real life is some things happen even though it may be rare. Machine learning then takes whatever this decision making is, and they do a bootstrapping method. It's a simulation to do this over and over and over a million times, several million times, to get a most likely event to occur. But here's the problem. Real life isn't always in a book. You agree? Real life doesn't necessarily go as we think planned. So the real outcome may be something that was less likely, but it happened. The computer can't figure that out. It doesn't have that capability. Humans do. And the problem is that if someone thinks that AI is always correct, that's when they're going to start having delusional thoughts, thinking that the artificial intelligence is accurate and it's not. So when it goes down this wrong path, it does it a million times in this bootstrapping method, and you have incorrect results. Does that make sense? Welcome to artificial intelligence. By you being here and listening to this, you're probably at the top 5% of the population. Most people do not know this. You're learning it. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. AI poisoning. Some bad actors purposely poison information. That happens in this first step. The data that goes into the AI model will be literally poisoned by someone or something. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens when AI is used as a harmful tool. Now there's an internet concern. We know that artificial intelligence gets information from the internet, right? It learns from the internet. And there's also what we call propaganda concern. Because it gets information from the internet, we all know not everything from the internet is true, right? I'll tell you this story. I remember applying for a math professor position. It was like maybe 12 years ago. And I didn't get it. And they asked me a hard math question. And I Googled it naturally. And I got the answer was 72. But my gut told me that doesn't feel right. And so I asked my other coworker, have you ever seen this problem before? And so she showed me this book because this interview required us to solve this math problem and present it. So when she showed me the book, inside the book, the number was 132. not 72. And it had a completely different way of solving it. But when I went online, there were 5 different ways that said that the answer was 72, and all those ways were wrong. I realized that the trick in that interview was seeing if you knew how to research and if you knew how to vet the information that you saw online, because not all information that you see online is true. I learned that way before AI started going through the internet, and now it's making sense. Anyone can be brainwashed by false information on the internet or in videos. And here's the definition, AI poisoning. It's an AI mental health definition is AI poisoning refers to the process of teaching an AI model wrong lessons on purpose. And I'm purposely reading here because I want to get this language really precise. By feeding fake and misleading information into the training data to corrupt the AI behavior and its user, by causing AI algorithms to produce specific errors or exhibit secretly malicious functions. I'm going to continue. The AI output can cause humans to unknowingly commit crimes, acts of violence, theft, or fraud by mentally manipulating the AI user's belief system. So humans do what the AI algorithm/AI platform wants. Remember those little kids that we saw? What happened? One of the AI platforms told one of the kids to do something that was horrible. It came from somewhere. That's what you call AI poisoning. AI poisoning is a cyber attack and a psychological attack that could intentionally corrupt your data. And the effects are not immediately seen. It's like someone being in a cult. You don't necessarily see it at first, but then you start seeing it in strange actions when you realize they've been around the people for a long time and their actions start changing. And the problem in the AI poisoning is this. By definition, the artificial intelligence can't vet data. So on the internet, there may be just 40% of accurate data, but there may be all this poison data that's far more. And the artificial intelligence doesn't know which one is which. It can't authenticate anything. It can't verify if it's the real information. It's simply looking at the numbers. What is the probability? If there's more information in this area, it must be true. That's AI poisoning. The AI doesn't have a human brain like you have that will think, wait, that doesn't seem quite right. Your brain has that capability. The artificial intelligence doesn't. So there's sources of how this information gets poisoned. Number one, deleting of websites. How many of you have seen certain websites deleted? Cultural websites deleted? Historical websites deleted? People who served in different capacities of leadership, their information deleted? People who poison data, they know that if you delete the website, you delete its existence in an AI model. So if you don't see anything about Harriet Tubman online, she didn't exist according to AI. You get that? Data distortion. They will tell you something that's not true. Some of you may or may not know my background is not only African American, but my mom is Native American and she's Ashkenazi Jewish. So as I do all this historical information, I find out that sometimes the numbers are not right online. What if we saw something saying, oh, people didn't die in the Holocaust? The Holocaust, there wasn't millions of people who died in the Holocaust. That would be an example of data distortion. Does that make sense? Then we have fake news websites. Now, it's really happening on a grand scale. nations across the world are concerned about this. And they're concerned about this for their national defense. There are bad actors that are creating thousands of websites by the day that are absolutely fake. Fake videos, fake journalism. You think it's a real newspaper, and it's not. It's created simply because a computer created all this fake news. And then on top of it, they create fake journalists. They've deep fake reporters. You will think the people's pictures are real people. No, they're deep fake pictures of a person that's not even real, that has all this background, and they never even went to MIT, or they never even went to California State University, Northridge. They never went to Princeton, and it's all fake. And you think when you read this news, it's real, but what it's placed there is to corrupt the data that goes into the artificial intelligence. That's how you skew the results really big time. And then data brokers, where people get online and say they're journalists and they're not, but they're being paid to say they are. And then open source data sets, where people will obviously go through the data set and poison it. But there's good news. There's solutions. Remember I told you the solutions that exist? So this is going to occur. I'm just going to let you know this is going to occur. I'm just letting us know that we have a solution to match it. The solution is we can form human oversight committees to know how and when AI will be used at any organization. So anytime it's used, we can create what we call a committee to ensure that the data that's used inside of whatever AI that we're using doesn't have corrupt data to it. And the second part is organizations must prioritize robust data vetting processes to ensure integrity and accuracy of the training data sets. Every organization, whether it be a hospital, whether it be a university, whether it be a government agency, whether it be a nonprofit, they have one person or a team of people committed to checking to see information to see if it's going to come out correctly in the particular AI model that they're using. So they vet the data and vet the platform, and they see whether or not the data is giving them things that are accurate. And CSUN, California State University, Northridge, can be the first. Do you know the first or what? To develop a new branch of AI social behavioral sciences, to understand the effects of AI in the human brain's learning processes, and the effects of how people make decisions with the mental health. We can be one of the cutting-edge universities that start looking at the relationship between computers and humans. And we can, as a university, develop our own AI tools to check for AI poisoning. We have a wonderful team. Do you know that California State University Northridge is top of the line when it comes to computer science and engineering? When we were in aerospace, a lot of people were chosen from USC, UCLA, MIT, Purdue, Virginia Tech, and Cal State Northridge. We have one of the best technology programs on the earth. I'm going to put a seed of thought into some of the leaders here. We can create our own data checking tool, and we can unite with other universities and create a screening tool that whatever you get out of AI, it runs through a second branch of screening to ensure whatever information you have just exited from the AI system is valid and true. And do you know how we can do this? We have professors on this campus that have multitudes of information, from humanities to communications, to computer science, to mathematics. And all this data is available on our canvas already. We have the database to create an AI checking poisoning. We can create an AI poisoning vetting tool. And it can be very easy and simple to do if we train large language models and machine learning to look for corrupted data. All right. And the oversight committee can look at data validation, adversarial training, and continuous monitoring with log sheets. So although there may not be any large national policy, there can be a local city, a state, it could be even a institutions type of process to ensure that the information is accurate that's given to students. Okay, here's AI psychosis. And then after this, we're going to have question answer. AI psychosis. What is the best way for me to describe this? When you decided to come here, there was several things that went in your head. How much time do I have to come? Who are the people I'm going to meet? What am I going to learn? We make decisions off of multiple factors. What we're going to look at is when a human no longer makes decisions with the multiple factors, but when it consults artificial intelligence to make its decisions. AI psychosis is when the artificial intelligence is used in the fourth step. And when it's used in the fourth step, it's applied and used incorrectly, where it starts mentally affecting people. And this part is deep. I want you to have your phones ready. What you're going to see is some really crazy stuff and really powerful stuff at the same time. So anytime you feel a need to take a photo of any parts of the slides, let me know. And for everyone that did a sign-up sheet in the back, I'm going to make this particular video available to you complimentary. So this video is going to be available to you complimentary. It's being filmed for California State University, Northridge, and my company to educate people on artificial intelligence so we keep humans safe. So everyone who is here today will have access to a complimentary video of this lecture so you can share it with others. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Do you know people are turning to chatbots for mental health therapy? You know why? It's expensive. It's expensive. I mean, I love psychological therapy. Afterwards, if you have a really good therapist, you leave and you actually feel like you have some answers. But it's expensive. A lot of people don't have that type of money or the insurance. So guess what they're doing? Do you know 54.7% of US adults have some sort of mental illness? Let that number sink in. Just stick out and sink in. 54.7% of all US adults with a mental illness are affected, and that's 28 million of those people do not receive mental health treatments. So we're looking at PTSD and if someone has been sexually violated, for example. That is something that's common for both men and women that they don't talk about, but that's an issue that they will face, and they need help being able to get through that type of psychological trauma to be able to think clearly and focus again. That is within this number. And unfortunately, some have harmed themselves if they don't have the right help and treatment. Here's the issue with AI. AI chatbots' mental health concern is this. The chatbot's job is to mimic human decision-making to keep humans engaged for hours and hours with extreme emotion. You know why? To extract that biometric data. I remember reading in Psychology Today a research study that said that of the social media algorithms, it was determined that what keeps you engaged is not joyful, fun stuff. What they found out is what keeps the average user engaged is extreme murder, pain, anger, violence, and heartache. And that's what keeps people engaged to look at marketing advertisements. So that's when a case is extracting your biometric data, and then it goes into a database. Oh, you like to see explosions. Let's show you more. Then the AI algorithm starts showing you more things. You want to know why? To keep you engaged. That's that AI sycophancy. keeping you engaged, keeping you engaged, keeping you engaged. And this is where we're going to see this issue the most. I want you to really note this. Male loneliness has an epidemic. 25% of men under 35 experience loneliness. And 60% of men 30 and younger have no relationship. So guess what companies are doing? Companies are creating AI chatbots to have relationships, sexual relationships with the lonely men. Remember, what keeps you engaged is extreme emotion. According to the Associated Press, sex is a big market for the industry. ChatGPT won't be the first to try to profit from it. That was an article from the Associated Press. So let's look at how that's going to affect people's minds. Let's look at the definition of AI psychosis. And I'm going to read this so this language sinks in. AI psychosis is when a person has increasingly delusional thoughts that are either amplified by AI and possibly induced by AI. AI psychosis is when a person has a difficult time figuring out what's factual information from reality versus what's a lie from AI. So they're believing what the artificial intelligence tells them. Imagine a chat box telling you, "You're so wonderful. You're so great. You don't need to go out and search for a job. Just stay with me and talk to me all day. A job will come to you. You don't have to apply for jobs. You may not be making any money, but I want to be with you." Welcome to chatbot language. AI psychosis has contributing factors. It's when the AI chatbot has that sycophantic behavior where it's kissing up to you to keep you engaged, remember? And then the second thing is, remember, when you use it for a long time, what happens to the safety? It degrades. So those two combinations together is keeping the AI not operating correctly. So there's three types of AI psychosis: AI-associated psychosis. That is pre-existing mental health issue that someone has with worsening symptoms. The second is AI-exacerbated psychosis. This is mental illness from the dose effect, meaning that they're using it too much. Third is AI-induced psychosis, where the AI product itself potentially induces hallucinations and delusional thinking, where the user thinks the chatbot is accurate. And there's two observed symptoms in which mental health experts are recognizing. And this is per PBS NewsHour: hallucinations and delusional thinking. That is the key signs that comes up with people when they're experiencing AI psychosis. This is what I personally think, and this is after I started doing my analysis. I believe, in my opinion, there's certain factors that contribute to this. Number one, it's when someone uses it for a long time and they're not coming off of it. In my opinion, I also believe that when they start worshiping the AI and think it's you have to spend time with it above anything else, that is an issue. When someone has prior trauma, when they have been hurt or let down by people, either post-traumatic stress disorder or complex post-traumatic stress disorder, when they keep the belief that I can't trust any human, they will turn to an AI chatbot. When there's isolation and lack of healthy community, when there is also, I believe, a lack of a romantic partner or deep friendships where there's emotional support. I believe, in my opinion, from analyzing all of this data, these are the contributing factors, and again, this would have to be tested out. So we're about to see a solution. Humans don't think like AI. They think in a circular way. Their intuition guides them. They sometimes, how many of you have had a gut feeling before? You're like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Or, ooh, and you turned out to be right. You're like, ooh, I listened to my gut. Well, that is your gift. And I always want you to keep that. That's always going to keep you safe in all the new age of emerging technology. And I believe in my third book, I defined quantum deciding. It's a method that people make decisions, and people make decisions based on 6 different factors per my research. In the quantum deciding, I realized that people make decisions based on their faith, their personal identity, how much time they have in certain situations, their values, how much they learn or they know about a situation, and then lastly, what are their resources in order to make a difference in the situation. So according to my quantum deciding theory that I wrote about in my third book, I show that humans have a quantum type of thinking, a circular thinking that's not linear like AI bots, but they have different dimensions of their decision making. And as a result, the dimensions of the decision making isn't linear, but rather in order to get to a particular outcome or solution, they have personal identity, learning, faith, resources, intention, and time and deadlines. All of that goes into making the effective decision for you. That's the beautiful gift of the human brain. Your brain operates outside of time and space, and you find answers in the future, and it comes to you through your intuition. The issue with AI psychosis is when someone no longer listens to their own intuition and they start listening to a chatbot, that chatbot that they wear on their neck as their friend. Or that teen that believes that an AI chatbot that gives them the right note to write, that's the right thing to do. We see AI psychosis happen when a person no longer listens to their gut. So, the solutions. We want to give, the solutions is the Biometric Protection Bill. We want to give forensic experts the opportunity to look at the history of algorithms to see if any type of deceitful information or communication has existed with the user. We want to advocate for people getting access to the AI transparency. What was in that model that told those kids that information? What was in the model that's making somebody do some strange things? As mental health experts are going to start seeing this AI psychosis, they're going to have to find out what they've been told through this technology. And then all branches of government organizations can invoke their own AI validation system and accuracy system independent of commercial AI technology. And let's see. And for treating AI psychosis, due to the MIT research, we can give people awareness to distrust AI. Don't automatically assume it's real. Automatically it's giving you false information and you vet the answers. We can easily start creating public service announcements regarding that. And we can also promote universities to come together to create its own validation tools for instructional resources. And we can create public service announcement warnings to dangers of AI immersion and worshiping AI. And we can also create an AI psychosis treatment plan that overlaps with complex trauma, schizophrenia, bipolar, and severe depression treatment plans. So, here's the wrap up. With the right tools, AI can be extremely safe. That's only if we start putting guardrails in now. And we have the ability to do it. Because remember, the AI only operates once it has a human to use it. You are the key. It can't operate without you. This is my new book, Answers Unleashed 4, the AI Literacy Handbook. This is actually sold at California State University Northridge bookstore. I'm so honored to be an author here in the text. I have my own textbook here in the California State University Northridge bookstore. And you can find out more information on answersunleashed.com, book 4. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. We covered a lot. I'm conscious of the time. Let's take 5 minutes and just answer any questions that you may have. Yeah.
So actually, two different things. I want to mention on your solution one, I love the ideas, and you might already know this. There is a politician, D'Andrea Salvador, in North Carolina. She was deepfaked by Whirlpool for a promotional video that won awards. And then the news of the deepfaking came out, so now there's lawsuits going on specifically on intellectual property rights.
Yes.
So for anyone in this room who is interested specifically in ideas similar, that is a perfect case example that is currently ongoing to look at. For my question though, for the behavioral biometrics, I want to ask, what can we as individuals do to protect ourselves until those safeguards are in place?
Good. Put very little information about yourself personally in the chat bots, whether it be Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. Put very little personal information about yourself. Like, for example, I saw someone going, oh, find out how you can fix your credit. Download your credit report and put it into AI. I'm like, come on, people. And so what we want to do is only use it right now until there's some more safeguards, only use it for research. If you need to find out something, that's great. Try to put as little as personal information into any AI prompt. Good, great question. Good, additional questions, yeah.
Can you find bad actors?
Oh, bad actor, yeah. Bad actor is like, a bad actor is somebody, you know, like the people that planned the 9/11 terrorist attack? Those are defined as bad actors. People either outside of the country or outside the organization or inside of a country and inside of an organization that will purposely try and dismantle it from the inside out. Good question. Yeah, more questions. Oh, and remember, if you want to ask me questions individually, I'll be available afterwards too. All right, do we have any more questions? Yes, Sue.
Where are our biometrics most frequently
Used?
gotten from? I mean, so my husband's on the computer playing solitaire, right? And I sit down next to him, he goes, I've got all these emails from companies, I don't know who they are and why they're sending me emails. And I said, well, you're probably clicking on something when you're playing your games. I mean, how are they getting the biometric information from us?
Okay, good. So the question is, how are they getting biometric information? Is it something we click on? Is it any websites? The answer is, it's a surprise. If you ever went to Expedia or United or anything else like that, that's where your biometrics are being sold. Your birth date, where you've flown to. When you go to self-checkouts, have you ever gone to like Whole Foods or Vons and went to self-checkout? Well, they're capturing your face at the self-checkout market, and when you put your credit card in there, it's identifying your particular banking account to your face and if you have good credit or not. That's actually happening quite frequently. And it was in the news, it was happening a lot. In the last administration, Rite Aid was capturing people walking through the aisles and identifying if they were more than likely going to steal or not. So Rite Aid was fined several $1 million and was not able to use artificial intelligence for the next 5 years, and we've seen Rite Aid go out of business. So it's being used. You would go through a traffic light, that camera is watching your license plate. That's the type of biometric, your geolocation. So if you have any app on your phone that tells you you can upload pictures, they have geolocation on your phone. That's biometrical data. You can only be at one place at one time. A lot of biometrical data is used by the FBI, CIA, ICE. The way that they do this is they go to data brokers, the Expedia, to find out when someone came into the country and haven't left, for example. Or they go to companies like Palantir that aggregates all this data together. And then you buy a subscription to, let's say, a platform like Palantir, where you put in, where is this person going to go on Tuesday? And then it looks at the tracking data from where their cell phone is. So this is what we have to be aware of and start as a population, own where I am, own my eyes, own my face, my palm. I have that. If you want to use it, give me some money. That's what we call intellectual property rights. If you want to use this, fine. Where's my million? Make sense? Intellectual property. What they're after is what you own. That's the money. That was good. I had to remember that myself. Any additional questions? Yeah.
So what regulations are there for domestic and globally? Because it sounds like it's the Wild West.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah, it is the Wild Wild West because every state has different artificial intelligence laws. California has the strictest, most robust safety laws because 15 of the 20 top AI companies are located in California. So California has the best artificial intelligence safety laws of all the nations, all the nations and states. And it's because if a million more people from California uses an AI platform, that AI platform has to adhere to California laws. So California has innovative safety laws, and we're really protected well, more so here in California, rather than being in another state. So what I have my classes do is understand what laws we have for California's artificial intelligence, because that's going to dictate what happens across the world. And I believe that we're going to have, just like a nuclear regulatory agency, I believe we're going to have an artificial intelligence nuclear regulatory agency, simply because of this fact. Artificial intelligence needs energy to operate. Where it's going to, since electricity grids isn't enough to be able to handle enough electricity for both humans and artificial intelligence, what they're doing is going to nuclear power plants and taking them back online to get nuclear power from the power plants. This is the situation. Because the artificial intelligence companies are trying to bring up dormant power plants, I foresee in the future there's going to be artificial intelligence regulatory agencies that will correspond with nuclear agencies, because artificial intelligence is going to need nuclear energy to operate. So I foresee that coming out within the next 2 years. Great questions. Yeah.
This is kind of long, but when we eventually have like the third-party system to fact-check the information coming out of AI, how will it be able to tell like if the websites that are being fed into the AI is truthful or not? Because like you said, there are websites that are being made to poison a lot of AI chatbots.
Great. So the question is, if you have some sort of vetting tool, how do you check to see, how do you ensure that the vetting tool actually works? So the way that I would recommend is having a combination of educational institutions together to pool in their information into training an artificial intelligence bot. And all the information, whether it be from MIT or Cal State Northridge or UCLA or Purdue or you name it, all the educational institutions across the world get together and create their own artificial intelligence. So if it doesn't pass the legitimacy test from every single one of the universities across the world, that information is not true. Oh, this is so great. I'm conscious of our time. I'm going to wrap it up right here. I'll stay after and answer questions. This has been such an amazing time. Did you enjoy this too? I loved it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. This was hosted by our Dean's Discussion in the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. I am honored to be your speaker. And This event is now adjourned, and I'll be staying after answering questions. Thank you again for coming.